Get ready to live fearlessly free with Heather Bunch.
Do you ever feel like your business is just a transaction? Like you're working so hard, but you're not experiencing that deep, meaningful impact that you desire? Do you ever struggle, as a Christian, how to love and boundaries in business? Like without feeling like you're a doormat or you're just giving away all your stuff for free. Have you ever felt frustrated when clients leave or referrals don't come or your audience can feel disengaged? Does it make you think, what the heck am I doing wrong? Welcome to Live Fearlessly Free podcast. I'm your courageous coach, Heather Bunch, and I am here to help Christian women solopreneurs like you go from feeling stuck, not enough, and fearful to taking focused, confident, and courageous action so you can grow yourself to grow your business. Now, over the last several podcasts, we have been unpacking the first secret to living a courageous life, that life that God is calling us to, that is full, that is impactful, that is the thing that you have been dreaming and desiring about. It's the reason we're here. It's our journey. And the first secret was to delight in intimacy. Now, specifically, delight in an intimate relationship with your Heavenly Father. And so we learn all about how to rest in Father's grace and His love. And then when we know how to rest in the love and the grace, then we can rest in His presence. And through that, we learned last week how that love that fills our love tank is how we can learn to love ourselves. Because we can't do what we're about to do today unless we know how to love ourselves first. It's also going to keep us from burning out and not being able to reach and do all that we've been called to do with any way of actually feeling good about ourselves. But what I want to do is I want to move on to the next secret. I'm going to do that next week. But before I do, let's talk about one more area of love, and that is loving others. Now, what I want to do is I actually want to specifically hit it from another angle, and I want to hit it from as business women in the business world. So let's talk about love in business and how do you do that? So today is going to be for you if you're tired of feeling like business is just a transaction. I check the boxes, I do the things, but you want that client relationship to be full of purpose, impact, and even loyalty. Today is also going to be for you if you desire to grow your network with integrity, like building real connections with potential clients and your colleagues, instead of feeling like, I'm just working the room. If that is you, I've got you covered because I don't like that feeling either. And if you're ready to create an engaged audience that connects with you, with your message, without feeling like you have to perform, chasing the likes, this is going to be your day, my friend. Now, I'm going to tell you, I love this topic because I so struggled with fear when it comes to reaching out in business. I literally fainted before my first networking event. Yes, I did. I am a rock star. I was so scared. I freaked out about, I didn't, I'm a brand new coach. I didn't know my elevator pitch. Like, what am I going to tell people? I don't remember what that frog thing is. And I just got myself into such a frenzy. My body shut down. It was fight, flight, and freeze, like on steroids. Now, why was I so scared? Because I thought it was all about me having to show up in a certain way so I could get clients. Literally, that was all my fears. Like, what am I going to tell them? I don't know my elevator pitch. Hi, my name is Heather. I'm a brand new life coach. You want to hire me? Like, it was me. In no way, shape, or form had I even thought or considered of going into the networking event as serving them. You see, business is not just about getting clients or making the sale. And as believers, it's about showing love, the same love that we've been learning how to receive from our Father God. But here's the thing. We are not just here to give hugs instead of invoices. There's a balance. We got to learn how to love in the right way. The truth is, love is the most powerful force in business. It'll be what sets you apart. It will build those deep loyalties, and it is what will help create that real impact that you are so desiring, because we're purpose-driven, faith-driven solopreneurs. We want to make a difference in this world. So today we're going to dive into what it looks like to love your clients, to love your potential clients, your network, and your audience like Jesus, without burning yourself out, without feeling like you're being taken advantage of. Because I always love to remember, Jesus talked about the workman is worthy of their hire. Maybe it was Paul that said that. So let's break down the topic real quick before we dig into each of the lessons. So in John 15:12, Jesus gave us a very simple yet powerful business strategy. Love one another as I have loved you. Love one another doesn't just mean our friends and our family. It also means our business people, the people that we are associating with, probably on more of a regular basis. Because if you're working, 20, 30, 40 or more hours in your business, you're probably spending even more time with them. So it's not just for Sundays. It's for Monday when you're following up with clients, or Wednesday when you're networking, or Fridays when you're posting on social media. This love thing is a business model. It is a kingdom business model. And no, I'll just say, remind you that loving people in business doesn't mean you're giving away all your time, you're having to work for free, or you're letting people walk over you. That is not love. Jesus set boundaries, and so should we. But it does mean that we lead with love, and we do it in a way that transforms our work and the lives that we touch. Everybody we come in contact with will feel this. It literally is an energy that comes across. When you walk into a room, people can feel your intentions. And when you're coming in with love first, people will feel that. So there's several ways you can do it. So let's talk about 4 lessons on loving others in business. Number 1, love your current clients. Serve them, delight them, go the extra mile. Matthew 20:26 reminds us, whoever wants to be the greatest among you must be your servant. That's what we do first. Jesus served, like when Jesus came in the scene and he's about to go to the cross, what does he do? He could have had all the people serve him, but he knelt down and he used his garment to wash his disciples' feet. And he did that to be an example of us, for us. And that's what we're called to do, is to be servants. So loving our current client means making them feel valued, making them feel heard, supported, beyond just delivering a service. It's building long-term relationships, not just getting the transaction done. When a client feels genuinely cared for, they don't just stay. They become raving fans and they start referring you to other people. I want you to think about a time when you worked with someone who truly made you feel special. Maybe it was a business coach and they checked on you personally. Maybe they knew you were stressed out about something in your personal life. Maybe it was a designer that you had hired and they just went above and beyond, or some service provider, and they added extra value. People that built our home, we've been here for 16 years now. I rave about them all the time, even after 16 years. Because when we came into this house, there were so many things they just threw in for free for us. Oh, hey, we thought you would like, an extra, you already have 2 plant shelves. We thought you'd like an extra one in the hallway. I mean, they did so many little things for us that I am just like, you should use these people. They're just kind of a mom and pop. It's Lucas Homes, by the way, if you're local to the St. Louis area. Fabulous. And our houses held well together. They were wonderful to work with. They went above and beyond. Compare that to a time when someone just took your payment and like disappeared. And you're like, what just happened? That was not love, my friend. Which one made a lasting impact on you? We want to be the kind of person that is showing love to our clients. So ask yourself, how can I delight my current clients? How can I love my current clients? Maybe it's a thoughtful check-in, like not just, hey, I'm checking in if you got the work done or whatever, but just, hey, I was thinking about you. How's everything going? Maybe it's an unexpected bonus. It's an extra resource that you give them, a small gift, a handwritten note. Pray for them. If you're working with other Christians, maybe you just pray for them on the call, in the meeting, while you're talking to them, if you know they're struggling with something. Or maybe you see something on social media and you put in that comment, hey, I'm praying for you. And I will tell you this, even people that aren't believers, if they're struggling with something, they 99% of the time totally appreciate your prayers, that you're thinking about them, that you're putting in that effort. And then here's the thing, actually pray for them. Because I've done that one, by the way. Oh yeah, I've been praying for you, and then totally forgot about it. So I am very intentional. When I say that, I pray, and then I write that. Or I write that, and then I immediately pray. But I make sure I pray for them. And always make sure you show up with excellence in care in every interaction you have. Fully listen to what they're going through. You can hear things in their voice. You can pick up on things when you are fully listening intently to that person. And maybe it's even just twisting and changing in the way that you're going to approach something. I have a book client that I'm helping her write a nonfiction book based on her story. And we're working through the outline, and I was listening to, she was kind of struggling with coming up with stories and the different activities and things like that. But I noticed that when we had conversations, the stories would come to her. So I saw in that moment, I said, hey, would it be helpful for you if during our call, what we do is I ask you questions, you tell the story, and I type. And that's what we did. We shifted to that model to help her, because that was me loving her, listening to what she needed in that moment, and then adjusting. That's not the normal way that I would do it. But I knew I was going to be able to get the best out of her, pull the best out of her, that brilliance that was inside her, if I just switched the model. And so I asked her, and it was great. And it's a fantastic way for us as we're approaching that. Check up on people. When you serve and love your clients well, they don't just stay. As a byproduct of this, we don't serve, by the way, just to get this, but this is a byproduct. They will grow your business through referrals and loyalty. I have clients that they'll just naturally go, oh, you need Heather for this, or this. I didn't even ask them for that, but they just did it. And I know they'll do the same for you. Lesson number 2, love your potential clients. Serve them, even if it's not you. Philippians 2:4 says, let each of you look not only to your own interests, but also the interests of others. Loving potential clients means being honest about whether you are the best fit for them. Because sometimes you're not the best fit for them. And the best way to love them is maybe to refer them to somebody else you know that is going to be able to take care of them even better. Could you come up and put together a package maybe that'll help them? Sure, you probably could. But maybe there's a better fit for them. And loving them is being able to refer them to the right person, because it's not about making the sale at all costs. That's not love. It's about doing what is best for that client so that they can get what they need to do what God's called them to do, or to enjoy whatever it is that they're looking for, depending on if you do products or if you do services. Imagine walking into a car lot, and instead of getting the hard sale, the sleazy car salesman, they actually listen to what you need. And then they say, you know what? We don't actually have what you're looking for, but my friend at the dealership down the road does. Let me give him a call. And they send you on your way. That, my friend, is love in business. I remember a time where I had a discovery call, and this person had found me randomly through a blog post. They were doing a search for the 4 tendencies. I had done a blog post series on that back before I was doing a podcast, and I was just blogging. And I'm sitting there and I'm listening, and I was like, you know what? I could help her. I could come up with a package and shift a bit, and I know I could help her. But I really felt there was another coach I had in mind, and I just had it come up, and I was like, you know what? She would be a better fit for this person in this moment for what they needed. And so I did an introduction and referred this potential client to this other coach friend of mine, because I knew that's what she needed. That was love in that moment. I gave up potential income, but I knew this other gal was going to serve her best. So the next time you realize, as you're talking with someone, a potential client, and you know they would be best served by somebody else, don't be afraid to send them in the right direction. It builds trust, and it builds long-term success. And I'll tell you what, if you treat somebody like that, and even if you're not serving them, and they run into someone that you could serve best, I guarantee they're going to probably send them your way as well, because they know you're going to take care of their friend that they're sending your way. So, love your potential clients. Serve them even if it's not you. Number 3. I love that. Number 2. If you're watching, I was like number 2. Number 3. Love your network. Give before you get. Proverbs 11:25. A generous person will prosper. Whoever refreshes others will be refreshed. So your network isn't just about who can help me. It's about who you can help. That was my problem, my friends, and why I fainted before my first networking event. Because in my head, I thought, oh my gosh, I have to go into this thing going, who can help me? And that's what freaked me out so bad. But the best way to love your business network is to love them first. Who can you help? Give referrals. Make introductions. Look for ways to connect people who can benefit from knowing each other. Karen Hoffman from Gateway to Dreams, shout out, girl. She is one of the best people I know about this. Like, she has this Rolodex. Y'all remember Rolodex, like a physical Rolodex? She literally has one in her head. You tell her what you're working on. She's like, oh, I need to connect you with so-and-so. She is so good at that. Karen Fox is another one. Lydia Owens, like my mentor. Those ladies, they know how to give referrals. They have a log of who does what, so that when they are talking to someone, they can go, oh, you need so-and-so. Let me connect you. Let me make an introduction. So you don't always have to be that person like sliding into somebody's DMs like, hey, girl, I have this amazing opportunity for you. Okay, that feels sleazy to me. And if you do that, you know what? I'm not condemning you, but I just can't. Like, it just does not feel, it's not authentic to me. Instead, I think it's best to be that one who celebrates others' successes, shares their content. Like, if you see something they're doing great, share their post, send encouraging voice memos. I love to do this. I love to pray. Like, I will sit and I will pray, and I'm like, God, who do I need to connect with? Who do I need to pray for? And so I will pray for them, and I will text them, and I will tell them. And sometimes this is what I'm praying for you for. And I just really try to listen. Like, what is it that they need? Listen and take action in that moment. I was on a call last week with my mentor, Lethea Owens, and she just had a lot of challenging situations that had cropped up, like we all do. We all have different things that crop up. And in that moment, I jump off the call, and, I obviously I'm praying for her and things like that, but I'm like, you know what? I want to show a tangible form of love to her. And I knew she loved flowers. Like, that's what flowers and gumballs. And I've always sent her gumballs, and she's got a collection of gumballs from me. I'm telling you what. And glittery ones and pink ones and things like that. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to send her some flowers. And so I hop online. She doesn't live near me. So I hop online to go find a place where I can get them to her by the next day. And I look for just the right flowers, and I even looked for just the right vase, because I knew, like, her office was like pink and gold and white, and so I knew what it looked like. And so I found just the right one, and I sent it to her, and it arrives in the later that next day. She's been working all day. Client calls back to back to back to back to back. She comes out the office, and there are the flowers waiting for her. And she texted me and sent me a picture and just said, "This made my day big time." And we were on our monthly Audacious Faith Gathering call that I get to co-host with her. And she even brought the flowers onto the call to share with our sisterhood of this is what love looks like. And one of the things she even mentioned was how much she loved the vase. It's the little things. When you think about your network and what they need, there's so many ways to show love. And when you do that, all that other business stuff takes care of itself. They're going to give you referrals. They're going to think of ways to bless you. But we love first. Jesus is the one who loved us first. Now it's our turn to love others first. So love your network. Give before you get. And the fourth thing is this: love your audience. Connect. Don't perform. I love how Matthew 5:16, it reminds us, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. Your love glorifies God. It shows people the goodness of God. You are literally the hands and feet of Jesus to this world, to your audience. I know social media feels like this noisy, crowded marketplace where everybody is shouting, "Look at me, look at me." Dun, 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 dun. You know, we do the performance. But think of your favorite content creator, the one that makes you feel seen and heard. Now, think about that other one that is promoting themselves 24/7. You know, they've got the face on, they've got the mask on. Which one do you trust more? Which one do you want to be? Loving our audience might mean a shift. We might have to shift. If you're in performance mode because you think that's what you have to do, we got to shift from performance to connection, being real. You know, it's okay to share the good, the bad, and the ugly when it calls for it. You know, it honestly helps others relate to you and realize, you know what? If you can do it, they can do it. You know, the reason I share stories like I've stated before my first networking event, because that's pretty dang embarrassing, right? I share it because I want you to know that if I can go from there to not only now speaking at networking events and volunteering for networking events, you can too. And even if it's not networking, it's fear. Like dealing with fear. We all deal with fear in different ways, right? Some of us go into fight mode. Some of us go into flight mode. Some of us freeze, like I did. Some of you go into, it's actually called fawning, which means you're people pleasing. You're trying to people please everybody. That is not what God is calling us to. And so I want to use myself as an example of how you can not do that. So tangible way you can do this is also connecting on more than just your posts. So yes, you do the follow-up, people post, people comment on your things, you comment back, right? But intentionally go out to other people's posts and comment on theirs as well. There is a gal, and I don't personally know her, but I actually saw her on a mastermind event with Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi. And they brought her on and interviewed her, and she shared her story from going from, how when she started her business and her success that she's having now. And it was a really cool story, and she's really down to earth. And I apologize if I'm going to pronounce your name wrong, but Hui Lek from Inner World Training. Now, she, after that event, somewhere in there, she actually connected with me. She sent me a DM and we just started a conversation, right? She didn't just jump in and start trying to sell me something. And then she started watching my posts and she would comment on them. And I do the same with her. And I watch her stuff and I comment, but she goes in, and not just even my like business posts, even personal ones. And she does not push her coaching on me, but she's just coming in and caring. Like she is loving me. And I don't know if she's a believer or not, but she's loving me by actually caring for what I care about, investing time into me. And I really appreciate her doing that. And if I ever need her services, I'm going to check her out because of the way that she loves me. So we need to go from performance to connection, connect with others, reach out to your audience. We also need to go from content to commitment. We need to show up consistently, okay? And listen, I get it. Consistency has never been my strong suit, but we need to be consistent and show up whether we feel like it or not. I had someone come up to me the other day and they mentioned that they were watching my posts on Facebook and how they really enjoyed my content. But this is the huge thing. They actually came back and told me what really stands out to them as well is my consistency. Like they watched on purpose to see if I was consistent. And you know what? That spoke volumes to me as, they see other people not being consistent. Now, listen, there's no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus if you're not consistent. Because you know what? We can start today and be consistent. Because if I can do it, you can do it. Because I'm going to tell you, I was not always consistent. I am not naturally a consistent person. Like I am naturally a little scatterbrained, a little all over the place, a little hashtag rabbit trails happen. I can go from, writing a post to, oh, crud, I need to pay that bill to, oh, my laundry's in the thing. Like I could be freaking all over the place and go, you know what? I just don't have time for that today. I just don't feel like posting today. I have set it up now in my workflow. This is what I do. I post consistently. And honestly, how I did this to begin with, my podcast is weekly now, but I actually started out as a 5-day podcast. 5 days a week, I put out a podcast. Why? Because everybody was listening? No. because I needed to learn how to be consistent. And so I basically forced myself to learn how to be consistent. That's why I'm telling you, if I can learn it, so can you. I am Miss ADHD, whatever. So I'm just not going to listen to your excuses, blah, 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 that you can't be consistent. Consistency is a choice. It is a decision. A decision means to cut off all other options. And so you can be consistent. And when you are consistent, you are loving your audience because you cared enough about them to work through your consistency issue and show up whether you felt like it or not. Engage with your audience like a real person. Respond to comments, ask questions, share content, go to their posts and start commenting, engage. I'm going to say this. This is a little rant here, all right? I've noticed I'll have people do friend requests for me, and I've noticed these ones that will be like, 5,000 people following, 10,000 people following, and how many are they following? 0. What does that say to me? You didn't care enough to follow other people back? You're just in it to get the followers. Like, I'm not down with that. That isn't love in business, okay? Show up, be a real person, respond to their comments. It is not just about us selling stuff. Now, can we? Absolutely. Gary Vee, I remember he had this book. It was one of the first business books I read, and it was Jab, Jab, Right Hook. And he was talking about that, like your give, 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 and then you can ask. So we got to put the deposits in before we can do the withdrawals. And we have to show up and do it consistently. That is love. So let's do a quick recap of the 4 ways that we can love in business. Now, this is not extensive. There are many other ways you can do this. But here are the 4 ways I gave you today. Number 1, love your current clients. Serve them, delight them, go the extra mile, send the text, listen intently to what they really need, because relationships matter more than the transaction. Number 2, love your potential clients. Look, be honest with them whether you're actually the right fit. And if you're not the right fit, refer them to other people who can support them. Number 3, love your network. Give before you get, whether it's referrals, do introductions, or just simply showing up to support others, sending the text, praying for them, being there for them. That is love. And number 4, love your audience. Connect with them. Don't just perform. Be real. That is what really builds trust and impact. And don't forget the other part of that. It's not just about the content you're putting out. It's also consistency. Love is consistent. It's not just here or there or I felt like it. Love is an action that we do whether we feel like it or whether we don't. Love costs. And in fact, love cost Jesus everything. And we are called to love like he loves. Loving well in business isn't just a nice thing to do, my friends. It is the kingdom way to do business. It is the God way to do business. It is loving people like Father loves us. And when we lead with love, our businesses are going to grow and expand in ways that we can't even imagine. Because you know what it does? It allows that Father factor to come in, and he will make ways where there is no way and open doors we can't even open on our own. Courageous action time, because we are what? We are doers of the word, not just hearers of the word. So this week, I want to challenge you to put love into action in your business. Now, you may be doing some of this. So what I encourage you to do, add an extra something that maybe popped out to you that you hadn't thought of before. So I want you to pick one area and do a small intentional act of love this week. So for your current clients, maybe that's sending a thoughtful check-in, an unexpected, bonus or resource. It's praying for them before your next call or on your calls. I love to pray for my clients on my calls. Maybe for your potential clients, what could you do? Again, if they're not a right fit, refer them to someone else. You start to create that Rolodex in your mind so that you can be that person that's always making sure that potential clients get to the right people. And for your network, maybe it's make a meaningful connection between two people. You do an introduction, do an email introduction, do a phone a text introduction, a DM introduction. I love to do those because you know what? Other people have done those for me. They've shown me love by doing those for me. And it's huge. Most of my business comes through referrals. So that's massive. So other people have loved me. So I love to make sure that I do that. So ask questions so that you can know exactly what your network needs and then get them connected to the right people. Or again, check in with them, see how they're doing, pray for them, comment on their stuff. Okay. For your audience, you could engage with them in real intentional ways. Go to their profiles and post on their pictures, the wedding day, the birthdays, those special moments that they may be posting about. It doesn't have to be business. It can also be personal. Like you don't have to separate the two, right? I think it's more impactful when you've got it mixed together. So comment on their posts, respond to your comments, obviously, but make sure that I'm going to give you this one. If you're not already being consistent in posting your content, please be consistent. Please be consistent. Now, maybe you're like, Heather, I don't really do the social media thing. That's fine. Your audience could be the people that you connect with at the networking events or in your texting. So do that. All right. If you're doing it in person, go do it in person. Love doesn't have to look one way, but love. Make it a priority. Pick one, take an action, because small intentional acts of love in your business, they're going to create these big ripple effects. Andy Andrews calls it the butterfly effect. That is an incredible book, by the way. Super short, super powerful. That's just throwing that out there. But love your clients, your business, and ultimately the kingdom. Next week, my friends, we are unlocking secret number 2 to the courageous life. So get ready. If you are tired of holding on to some extra crap on you that you know is holding you back, we're going to shed that. And it is going to allow you to show up more fully yourself and who God's already created you to be. So I am super excited about this. This is a massive secret that God had to work in me and through me. And you know what? He's still working stuff in me. So even if you've tapped into this secret before, we're going to even keep diving in because there's always more to chisel away, my friend. So I will see you next week as we dive into the secret number 2 of the courageous life. You have got this, my friend, and Father's got you. I want to thank you a bunch for listening or for watching. And until next time, live fearlessly free.